Hey everybody, this is Bev Gray from Technique Tuesday. Now a while back we showed you how Tam watercolored this card. And if you want to see how she does all the watercoloring and making the pretty on this, you can go back on our YouTube channel or on our website. Today I want to talk to you about how you can make your own cards. And I picked this blue because it matches the blue in the card. And I'm going to be using our Scalloped pull strip die to show you how to make this card. Now the paper that matched my project was this 12 by 12 blue cardstock, and I need to cut it down in order to make an A2 size envelope. And I'll tell you, you want to make it just a little bit bigger than the standard A2 size envelope. So the number that I think works really well is 6 by 9 1/4. And I'll tell you more about why I cut it to that size in a little bit. Now the next step is to take that piece and to score it right through the middle. And in this case, you're at 4 5/8 is where you want to score it. And then what I do once I've done that score is I fold it and make sure that if I need to shimmy it in any direction, that I do that before really putting in that crease. Now the third step is to take that scored piece of cardstock and die cut it. And the position you're going to want to put that scalloped die on is just right before below the fold. So I'm using a little bit of washi and just going ahead and putting that down and then running it through my die cut machine. Now this may seem like a weird next step, but the right thing to do next is to add your address. And the reason is once you put your card in here, it's going to be lumpy and bumpy and make it hard to address your card. And you have to think about how this is going to be folded. So the way I do it is I fold it over and go, oh yeah, my address is going to want to be here with my pull on the other side. So I would go ahead and put my address right here and my return address there. So the fourth step, add your address. Now the last step has some really important pieces to it. And the first is that you want to place adhesive along the edges. And I like to add it along the side that has the die cut into it. You can use wet adhesive and just put a really thin line along your edge. I don't really like that well. It kind of oozes out and gets kind of gnarly. You can also take some of your regular old snail dry adhesive and just run it along the edge, and that works pretty well. You're going to want to keep it pretty thin along the edge so that the card will actually fit into it. The problem I find with that is if you're sending it in the mail, that adhesive may not be strong enough. So the preferred way of doing this, I think, is to go ahead and just cut some pieces of red double stick tape, lay it right down along the edge of your project, and then what I do is I adhere it down, rub it down so it's really stuck down, peel it up, and then I just roll it a little bit towards the edge. What that does is it makes it into a little bit dimensional, so it's got room for the thickness of the card. Plus also, you're moving it away from where the card's really going to be. So you would do that on all the sides. Then another really important step is to actually put your card into the envelope and then fold it over and press the adhesive all along it. Now I want to show you what the finished project would look like. Now you might go ahead and put a name and address on this, but when you send it to somebody and they get to pull that open and hear all those little pops as it pulls open, it's really kind of a nice little satisfying project. Now let me show you a couple other things that you can do with this die. Because this die was designed to work on a number of different size cards, you can do things like cut it in this way instead. So instead of having it cut on this side, you could cut it on that side. And here's another example of how you've got a card inside, and maybe you put 20 bucks in that card to give to somebody as a gift. You can also make little projects like this, and when you open that one up, you might put a little gift card inside. That's a little thank you for somebody that did something for you. And here's another example, just using pattern paper and showing how you could maybe give some movie tickets. So those are some examples using colored paper. One of our customers wrote to us and gave us another tip, and what she did is she took just a plain old envelope and laid the scallop die on top of it, ran it through her die cutting machine, and ended up with a pretty little scalloped edge like that. So there's lots of things you can do with the scalloped pull strip die. Now I nearly forgot to mention one other little cool thing about the Scalloped pull strip die, and that is that it works perfectly with all of our Flair size stamps. So if you were making a project and you wanted to say love you or congrats to you, you could stamp it and then just die cut it out to put on your project. And we have ones that are more about card making, some that are about Christmas, and lots of other themes for those Flair stamp sets that'll work great with this. Wanted to show you too, once you've made one of these little things, that they go beautifully on whatever project it is. So you can see how you could just jazz up a plain white card or go ahead and jazz up some patterned paper to make it really cute. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all of these projects and that you're inspired to do something with your pull strip dies. You can learn more about the scallop pull strip and all the other pull strips on our website at techniquetuesday.com. Thanks for watching.